is going to present a presentation on pressure sensors. So, a scientist named Eugene Bourdon decided to try to develop a new type of pressure measurement device in late 1940s, as because in late 1940s there were increasing number of horrific accidents involving very high pressure steam locomotive engine. So, a locomotive engine is a rail transport vehicle that provides the motive power for a train. So, he invented a device known as pressure sensor. A pressure sensor is a device used for pressure measurement of gases or liquids. A pressure sensor usually acts as a transducer. So, a transducer is a device that converts energy from one form to other. So it generates a signal as a function of the pressure input. It means that when a pressure is imposed, it generates a signal. We come on to the working principle of pressure sensor. So a pressure sensor has semiconductor distortion gauge formed on the surface of the diaphragm of pressure sensor, and it converts changes in electrical resistance into electrical signal by means of a effect that is known as piezoelectric effect. So a piezoelectric effect is a electric charge that accumulates in certain solid materials in response to applied mechanical stress. So a piezoelectric effect that occurs when the diaphragm of a pressure sensor is distorted due to an external force that is known as pressure. We come on to the technical specifications of pressure sensor. So the features are working voltage of typical value is 1.5 mA and maximum value should not be exceeding 2.0 mA. Number 2, the maximum operating range should not be exceeding 125 degrees Celsius and not be less than minus 40 degrees Celsius. The input and output resistance should not be less than 2500 and should not be more than 6000. The measurement range can be 0 to 25 bar or 0 to 50 bar for light hydraulic appliances and high range sensors that can be measured up to 1000 bar or 5000 bar or more. So here you all can see the connection details with Arduino with the connection details of Arduino with pressure sensor. So we should always connect GND pin of the pressure sensor to the GND pin of the Arduino unit, and the second pin of the pressure sensor should be connected to the zero pin of an Arduino. So where do we use these pressure sensors? So we use this in pressure sensing, means measuring of combustion pressure in an engine, cylinder or gas, level of depth sensing using depth cameras, flow sensing, measuring a flow around a blood vessel and leak sensing. So thank you. Sir, done.
Yeah, audience, if you have doubts, you can ask, please.
Sir, I have a question.
Sir, I have a question.
Please,
I'm
one
asking
by one,
from
please.
Can you
class.
explain again uses of pressure sensor? I can't hear because of network problem.
Sir, I have also a question.
Shreya Sharma. Wait, please. Please, one by one. Shreya Sharma's question. Uses. You please repeat the uses.
Okay, sir. So where do we use pressure sensors? Pressure sensors are used in pressure sensing. That means, example, measuring of a combustion pressure in an engine, cylinder, or a gas. Then next is level or depth sensing, that is used by a depth camera. Next is flow sensing. Example, measuring a flow around blood vessel, or etc. And leak sensing. In leak
Sir,
sensing,
Excuse me, can you explain the working of the device?
Ananya's question is working of the device. Once again, please.
Working principle of a pressure sensor. A pressure sensor has a semiconductor distortion gauge formed on the surface of the diaphragm of a pressure sensor, and it converts changes in electrical resistance into electrical signal by mean of a effect that is known as piezoelectric effect. So what is piezoelectric effect? A piezoelectric effect is an electric charge that accumulates in certain solids materials in response to applied mechanical stress. So piezoelectric effect that occurs when the diaphragm is distorted due to an external force. This external force is known as pressure.
Okay, thank you.
Please, can you please go to the introduction part?
Please can.
Yes.
During the speech, you told that the device was invented in the late 1940s, and you have written 1840s. So, what is the exact date?
Actually, it will be 1840s. I wrongly told.
Please can you go to the technical specification slide once?
Yes.
Here in the first part you have written working voltage, but you have given the value in current, that is milliamperes. So what is the voltage?
Yeah, this is very blunder, Ashmit Roy. Working voltage you have written, and you have written the current value. It should be working current range. Okay, Ashmit Roy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What is
Sir, I have a question. Sir, can I ask a question?
1 minute, please. Transducer is nothing but it is a device which can convert the energy from one form to other form. And Amrit Mandal is asking what is piezoelectric effect. Due to the change in pressure, there is a change in electrical signals. So that is called piezoelectric effect. Electrical voltage may be changed. If you increase the pressure, one kind of voltage will be. If you decrease the pressure, one kind of voltage will be. So based on the pressure, the electrical voltage signal will be given. So that signal will again correlated with the pressure. So that is what piezoelectric effect. So that is what. Sorry, we cannot take more questions because due to the time, I will request Neelanjan to present.
Good morning to all my friends present here and my teacher Jaya sir. I am I am Nilanjan Mukherjee. I am Nilanjan Mukherjee from RTRI with my presentation on gyroscope sensor. So here we come to the introduction of gyroscope. What is a gyroscope? A gyroscope is a device that uses Coriolis force to help determine orientation. Here there are two technical terms. Hello, sir.
Your voice is very much breaking.
A gyroscope is a device A gyroscope is a device that uses Coriolis force to help determine orientation. What is Coriolis force? Coriolis force is the force which acts to the left of the object during clockwise rotation and to the right of the object during anti-clockwise rotation. Now, what does the gyroscope sensor do? Gyrosensors are devices that sense angular velocity, which is the change in rotational angle per unit of time. So by this statement we mean that angular velocity is nothing but the rotational angle per change in rotational angle per unit of time. Rotational angle is the angle of rotation at which angle of rotation of the object when it is used. It is used while playing. It is used in smartphones while playing games. For example, when we are playing a racing game, we tilt our smartphone to control the car. The gyroscope sensor senses all these tilts and sends the information to the game, which helps us to play our game smoothly. What is the working principle of gyroscope sensor? It works in the following steps. I will explain this later to you in the form of an animation. Now, how to observe the directions? The mass, there is a mass which is rotating continuously. It experiences angular rate due to the rotation and also Coriolis force due to the rotation. This causes perpendicular displacement of the mass. The directions can be found out using right hand rule. In the right hand rule, I would try to explain it further with the help of an annotation. So, as we can see, these are the directions. Let's consider the angular rate to be y, Coriolis force to be z, and velocity to be x. Then it is given by the right hand rule. I will try to draw the hand also. I will try to draw the hand also. So this is right hand rule by which we can get the directions. The forefinger is the x, the middle finger is the y, and the thumb is the z. That means that the forefinger represents the angular rate, the thumb represents the Coriolis force, and the y means the y represents the angular rate. Now let's move on to the next slide. In this slide, I will explain you the whole working principle with the help of an animation. As we can see, the gyroscope has a two-mass system. These masses continuously move in opposite directions with same velocity, and while the masses experience the Coriolis force, the whole system experiences angular rate denoted by omega. After this, we denote the Coriolis force acting on the two blocks as Fc1 and Fc2. Then to calculate the final Coriolis force, we take the difference between the two Coriolis forces. As you can see, Next, we move on to the sign conventions. And so the accelerations are in opposite directions. So when they are subtracted, they get added up. I will explain this too with the help of an annotation. FC1 and FC2. FC2 is in opposite direction in comparison to the FC1. So we will put a minus sign here, and again due to the difference we put again a minus sign, and both these minus sign causes both these quantities to get added up. Here's how we can explain this part of the video. Let's move on to the next part. After this we can see that the blocks of mass m are moving in opposite directions. They experience angular rotation and Coriolis force. Due to the Coriolis force, a displacement occurs, and as displacement is inversely proportional to the capacitance, as the displacement d changes, the capacitance also changes, as you can see, depicted by the green arrows. Then we will to calculate the capacitance, we first need to calculate the displacements. See, we can tell from this that capacitance 1 is a function of displacement 1 and capacitance 2 is a function of displacement 2. Then delta D means the mod of the difference between the two displacements is calculated in order to calculate the Coriolis force. The Coriolis force is finally calculated by as it is the function of delta C, means the difference between the two Coriolis forces. And here's how we explain this. For the last part of the video, that our main aim was to calculate the angular velocity. And after we have calculated the Coriolis force using as it is a function of delta C, we will use the another formula, that is the angular velocity omega is a function of Coriolis force. And here and like this we can explain the whole
One request, please.
Yes, sir.
Please, go slow, please. One request, slowly you go.
Next we come to the MEMS part. Now a question arises: how is such a large system inserted in the gyrosensors? The answer to this question is none other than MEMS. MEMS are microelectronic mechanical systems. They are capable of doing the whole large work at a very small scale. Here is the diagram of the MEMS. I will also explain this with the help of an animation. There is an internal movable assembly, that is the orange part, and the outer fixed assembly plates denoted by the green parts. The internal movable assembly are capable of moving as they are connected with springs. There is a mass present on one side. Due to this mass, there is an acceleration, and due to this acceleration, there is a displacement, and this displacement causes the capacitance to change. I already told that the capacitance is inversely proportional to the displacement. In this way, it works. The whole process works in the MEMS. Here is the top view of the MEMS. Now moving to the next part, that is the technical specifications of gyroscope. The technical specifications of gyroscope are power supply 5 volt, current output 0 to 20 milliampere. Measurement range of angular rotation in degrees is plus minus 1000 to plus minus 6000. Resolution is 0.06 degree per second to 14.67 degree per second. Now here a question arises. What is this resolution? It is a new term. The resolution means the smallest change the sensor can detect in the quantity that it is measuring. Now we move on to the schematic of the circuit. Here is the schematic of the circuit. The Arduino with the MPU 650 module. This module consists of both an accelerometer and a gyroscope. Its cost is rupees 250 or something like that. In the table, we can see that the 5-volt pin of the Arduino is connected to the gyroscope sensor VCC pin. The ground of the Arduino is connected to the ground of the gyroscope sensor. The INT pin of the INT pin of the Arduino is connected to the INT pin of the INT. Sorry, here is some mistake. The INT of the gyroscope sensor is connected with the digital pin 2 of Arduino. The analog pin 5 of the Arduino is connected with the SDA pin of the gyroscope sensor. The analog pin 4 of the Arduino is connected with the SCL pin of the gyroscope sensor. Now, another question arises. What are these SDA and SCL? So SDA is a data line which is used to transfer data between the microcontroller Arduino and the module. And the SCL is used for clock input, that is for providing clock pulse. Clock pulse is used in pulse width modulation. It basically directs the sensor when to switch on and when to switch off. Applications of gyroscope. Gyroscope are used in robots for maintaining the balance. Gyroscopes are used in mobile games, as I already told. Gyroscopes are used in digital cameras for the correction of the shake while taking the pictures. It helps to correct the pictures. It helps to correct the pictures if it gets blurred. Now, what are the key benefits of the gyroscope sensor? It is easy to use, it has greater accuracy, long-term stability, and it is small, light, and portable in weight. Thank you. Sir, over.
Sir, what is SLR camera?
Now it is open to questions. Audience, please.
Sir, what is MEMS accelerometer?
Please, can you type it? Can you type it, because we are unable to listen? And in the meanwhile, I will answer some of the questions. Ishan Pal is
Sir,
asking.
Sir, what is SLR camera?
Sir,
If there is any jerk or shake in the camera, it is detected by the gyroscope, and according to that, the signals are sent to the digital camera, and the photo is being corrected.
So in that way, it is used in digital cameras. Okay.
Yes.
Sir,
And
sir,
sir,
have you
what
seen
is
my
MEMS
question?
accelerometer?
One by one, beta, please. One more question. Please, all of you type
Sir,
your question,
Sir,
please.
what
I am
is
not
MEMS
going to allow you
accelerometer?
ask any question. Type, all of you, please type your questions. That's it. We will be answering one by one. Type your question. And
Sir, I have typed. I think you have skipped it.
one by one, I will check it. Please wait for your question. Okay?
Sir, can I
VCC means voltage in a closed circuit, beta. Voltage in a closed circuit is called VCC. Okay, it is not voltage in common collector. It is voltage in closed circuit. And what type of camera is SLR camera? SLR camera is like, you know, you will get very good pictures. Resolution of the camera will be more. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, I cannot mute myself.
Notice that when we hold the screen in landscape mode, the screen also gets rotated in the landscape mode. For example, when you play, have you noticed that? That is only the function of gyroscope.
That's very good. Excellent. Yeah, any more questions? Amrit's question is, what is the proof mass here? Means what?
Proof mass here means the mass, and we know that if there is mass, there is it helps in acceleration, and due to the acceleration, there is some displacement. Due to the displacement, there is capacitance, and it helps in measurement of the magnitude of the Coriolis force, and therefore the angular velocity.
Yeah, very good.
Will we rejoin after this?
No, beta. Actually, today's session is end. And one more student was asking, actually, yeah, repeat the uses of Arduino. Arduino is a microcontroller, okay, which controls all the electronic components. Rishi Sen was asking. Okay. In our daily life, we can use it for constructing a simple circuits, and we can use it. We can make it our life easy. For example, recently, some of the like Ashmit Roy has shared one video. Like we can also use it Arduino based circuit for release of this. What is it? For example, when you are going to open the tap, when you just touch the tap, when you are going near to the tap, it the water flows out. Yes or no? So that kind of sensors, that sensor connections can be done with an Arduino. Okay, and yeah, there are many uses. Yeah, some of the users, please, from Nilanjan. Can you please?
Hello, sir.
Sir, please repeat the question.
Arduino uses.
Arduino is mainly used in robotics to control the whole circuit. It is a microcontroller.
Yeah.
No, we can't control all the sensors. We can't control all the sensors at a time by adding chips externally on the breadboard. So the Arduino serves as a collection of many pins so that we can operate multiple sensors at once.
Yeah, very good. Very good. All the speakers, congratulations for a very nice presentation. With this, we end up today's session. I'm sorry for other speakers who are ready, but they couldn't get the time due to the high traffic.
We will have a
Students,
class.
many questions. So the students who have already done with the preparation, you will get the chance in next week. Okay. Yeah.